to Gravel Pit.
A bird is high upon its wing. A bird is high upon its wing. A bird is high upon its wing. Its shadow fleet on the ground. Its facsimile. A bird is high upon its wing. Its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high upon its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high on wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high on wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high upon its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high on wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird is high upon its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground, its facsimile. A bird high on its wing, its shadow fleet on the ground. A bird, a bird, a bird, a bird, a bird, a bird, a bird. So yes, it's not a time zone error. I started an hour late. Had a little more prep to do. So welcome to the second Poetries and the Breaks. The Breaks. It's Uche Obuchi, aka Uche 720. Let's go.
Another Vance Ride Rig. Ain't
As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while some of their sad friends say, "There go the breath goes now." Some say no. I'm not okay. I can probably do valediction op-ed, but just to be sure.
ain't
That's John Donne, an MC from from the 17th century. As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while some of their sad friends do say, "The breath goes now," and some say no. So let us melt and make no noise, no tear floods nor side tempests prove to profanation of our joys, to tell the laity of our love. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears. Men reckon what it did and meant. Meanwhile, with that line, moving of the earth brings harms and fears, or rather, moving of the earth brings harms and fears. Peace to Turkey, peace to Syria. Sometimes poetry gets a little too real, if you know what I mean. All right, back to the done. Moving of the earth causes harms and fears. Men reckon what it did and meant, but trepidation of the spheres, though greater still, is innocent. Dull sublunary lovers love, whose soulless sense cannot admit absence, because it doth remove those things which elemented it. But we by a love so much refined that ourselves know not what it is, interassurate of the mind, careless, eyes, lips, and hands to miss. Our two souls therefore which are one, though I must go, endure not yet a breach, but an expansion, like gold to airy thinness speed. If they be two, they are two now, as stiff twin compasses are two. Thy soul, the fixed foot, makes no show to move, but doth if the other do. And though it in the center sit, yet when the other far doth roam, it leans and hearkens after it, and grows erect as that comes home. Such wilt thou to be to me who must like the other foot obliquely run. Thy firmness makes my circle just and makes me end where I begun. Such wilt thou be to me who must like the other foot obliquely run. Thy firmness makes my circle just and makes me end where I begun. Another John Donne presentation. Taking it back to the old schools, you know. Open a little Renaissance flavor. No, that's not true. Open up with my sort of departure from Rumi. The birds in the air, the shadows in the ground. Which one do I go bounding after? Is it the shadow to your laughter? Do you think I got it wrong? Well, that's the song. We all are fools. That is, unless we go to the schools of the great experience that teach us ever since we were children that we were meant to stay that way and say, I do not know just where I must go, just how I must feel, just how I must deal with everything life flings your way each and every day. That's the human way. So, hope you like poetry, and I hope you like hip-hop, funk, the breaks, because we're bringing those worlds together, which should never have been separated. Never, never, ever should have been separated. Not sure the volume. What? Check. Let's see if we give some gas. Hopefully that's louder, and hopefully you did get the benefit of the John Donne from earlier. Another. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, or no, if you're and you're catching this on replay. Congratulations to the Chief Eagles. Or is it the Eagle Chiefs? Take your pick. Make your bet. It ain't over yet. And a ways a turn. Poetry and hip hop makes it fun. We got the beat and the bass in the back with the brass. Going pity pat with the slick brick starting to speak, but we stop. You can catch it at the record shop. I should not be trying to freestyle and reorganize tracks at the same time. I don't learn easily though. Let's go.
Ain't 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 Ain't
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 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 Good evening, ladies. Good evening,
Ain't 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 Ain't
It's no go the merry-go-round. It's no go the rickshaw. All we want is a limousine and a ticket for the peep show. The knickers are made of crepe de chine. Their shoes are made of python. Their halls are lined with tiger rugs and their walls with heads of bison. John McDonald found a corpse, put it under the sofa, waited till it came to life, then hit it with the poker. Sold its eyes for souvenirs, sold its blood for whiskey, kept his bones for Dumbo's to use when he was 50. Annie McDougal went to milk, caught her foot on the heather, woke to hear a dance record playing of old Vienna. Oops, I skipped a whole chunk of the poem. It's no go the Yogi Man, it's no go Blavatsky. All we want is a bank balance and a bit of skirt in a taxi. That's fine. We're just gonna do it like that. The Laird of Phelps spent Hogmanay declaring he was sober, counted his feet to prove the fact, and found he had 1 foot over. What? Back to the Louis McNeese. Bagpipe music, by the way. Her brother caught 300 cran when the seas were lavish, threw the bleeders back in the sea and went upon the parish. It's no go the herring board, it's no go the Bible. All we want is a packet of fags when our hands are idle. It's no go the government grants, it's no go the elections. Sit on your ass for 50 years, then hang your hat on a pension. It's no go, my honey love. It's no go the picture cottage. It's no go the picture palace. It's no go the stadium. Super Bowl. No go the stadium, y'all. Alright. It's no go the country cot. It's no go the stadium. It's no go the something something in a pot of pink geraniums. It's no go, my honey love. It's no go, my puppet. Work your hands from day to day. The winds will take the profit. The glass is falling hour by hour. The glass will fall forever. But if we break the bloody glass, we can't hold up the weather. Cheers to Hogmanay, which is past, of course. Well, it's not Hogmanay, and I'm sober anyway. But if I count my feet, I might just get to 3. Before I ask the sum of you and me, I get so confused I keep coming up with 3. Before you leave your old home, be certain of the new. Let's actually, first of all, before we get to Leonard Peters, let's throw on one of mine. Short one.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Talking. There are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. Not merely the megrims of a hungry body's mind. The harvest bounty whispers through the kitchen who's been quarreling and which relationships are but a mouthful from the mend. Each time we dine together, we are properly reintroduced. You are my parent, my child, my sibling, my Liebling, my friend. One, two, There are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. There are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. Not merely the megrims of a hungry body's mind. And which relationship there are but a mouthful from there are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. Not merely the megrims of a hungry body's mind. Body's mind. The harvest bounty whispers through the kitchen who's been quarreling and which relationships are but a mouthful from the mend. Each time we dine together, we are properly reintroduced. You are my parent, my child, my sibling, my Liebling, my friend. There are stories to read, and there are stories to read, and there are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. Not merely the megrims of a hungry body's mind. The harvest bounty whispers through the kitchen who's been quarreling and which relationships are but a mouthful from the mend. Each time we dine together, we are properly reintroduced. You are my parent, my child, my sibling, my Liebling, my friend. There are stories.
There's some. Actually, here we go. All right. We have some Nikki Giovanni and Gwendolyn Brooks last time. Let's have a sport poem.
When Spanky goes to the playground, all the big boys say, "Hey, big time, what's happening?" 'Cause his big brother plays basketball for their high school, and he gives him the power sign and says, "You got it." But when I go and say, "What's the word?" they just say, "Your nose is running, Junior." One day, I'll be 7 feet tall, even if I never get a big brother, and I'll stuff that sweaty ball down their laughing throats. When Spank.
That's Basketball by Nikki Giovanni, recited by herself.
When Spanky goes to the playground, all the big boys say, "Hey, big time, what's happening?" 'Cause his big brother plays basketball for their high school, and he gives him the power sign and says, "You got it." But when I go and say, "What's the word?" they just say, "Your nose is running, Junior." One day, I'll be 7 feet tall, even if I never get a big brother, and I'll stuff that sweaty ball down their laughing throats.
You tell him, Nikki.
Whatever happened to the elephant? Hurrah for thunder! The elephant, tetrarch of the jungle, with a wave of the hand, he could pull 4 trees to the ground. His 4 mortar legs pounded the earth. Wherever they treaded, the grass was forbidden to be there. Alas, the elephant has fallen.
Hurrah for thunder.
But already the hunters are talking about pumpkins. If they share the meat, let them remember thunder. The eye that looks down will surely see the nose. The finger that fits should be used to pick the nose. Today, for tomorrow today becomes yesterday. How many million promises can ever fill a basket? If I don't learn to shut my mouth, I'll soon go to hell. I, Okibo, town crier, together with my iron bell.
Hurrah for thunder. That was Christopher Okibo from Paws of Thunder. Poems prophesying war. Alright, time for me to try the track. Track I was working on today. So this is going to be no poetry, just breaks. See how it flows basically. Exclusive.
are stories to read. There are stories to read. There are stories to read in the orange heat under a cooking pot. Not merely the megrims of a hungry body's mind. The harvest bounty whispers through the kitchen who's been quarreling, and which relationships are but a mouthful from the men.
Oh, mislabeled. You heard that one already.
How doth the Niger crocodile remember Mungo Park? A novel meal of alien flesh where Britain left her mark. When Britain and America share schooling of the fish, what doth the Niger crocodile make of its poet flesh? How doth the Niger crocodile remember? How doth the Niger crocodile? A novel meal of alien flesh where Britain left her mark. What doth the Niger crocodile make of its poet flesh? How doth the Niger crocodile? 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 How doth the Niger crocodile remember Mungo Park? A novel meal of alien flesh where Britain left her mark. When Britain and America share schooling of the fish, what doth the Niger crocodile make of its poet flesh?
What doth the Niger crocodile make of that its poet's flesh? That's my question. Who knows, maybe I may learn the answer someday. All right, one more. Let's, I've got a recording I did of Lenry Peters, Parachute Men. I'm going to close with that one. Actually, hang on. One more switch up. This is what we do every 2 weeks. These are the poet breaks. And this is what you should have learned in school, for goodness sake. We all know the curriculum doesn't care for children's minds. It's only about what you can make and what eventually find. But word by word they drop and then you've heard them all, you think. Until you hear the poet gesture of the mouth and you blink, blink, blink because you know what it feels like. You don't have to care what it means. The point about poetry is that it settles through your genes, and that's how we do out here in Poetry Breaks. Every 2 weeks, I've decided. These are the breaks, the breaks.
Parachute men say the first jump takes the breath away. Feet in the air disturb till you get used to it. Solid ground is not where you left it. As you plunge down, perhaps head first. As you listen to your arteries talking, you learn to sustain hope. Suddenly, you are only holding an umbrella. Parachute men say the first jump takes the breath away. Feet in the air disturb till you get used to it. Solid ground is not where you left it. As you plunge down, perhaps head first. As you listen to your arteries talking, you learn to sustain hope. Suddenly, you are only holding an umbrella.
In a windy place, as the warm earth reaches out to you, reassures you the vibrating interim is over. You try to land where green grass yields and carry your pack across the fields. The violent arrival puts out the joint. Earth has nowhere to go. You are at the starting point. Jumping across worlds in condensed time after the awkward fall. We are always at the starting point. That's the great Gambian poet Lenry Peters, 1932. I think of this poem, I really don't know if this is what he meant, but I think of it as a metaphor for colonialism colonial and the post-colonial struggle, because obviously it was written right around the time, we Africans were like, we're not having this colonial nonsense. Y'all gonna have to, heave ho back to Europe. And I kind of feel that, it's a new beginning, and that's what he's expressing. Like landing after a jump from an airplane, you learn to sustain hope. And that's where we are, y'all. This is Poetry Breaks. I'm glad you joined. Well, glad you probably saw this on replay. I knew that when I was doing this during the Super Bowl, I'm competing with Babylon, but you know. Cool thing is that we got replay, so hopefully you've had a chance to come back and replay this. Like I said, I'll try to do it every 2 weeks. 6 o'clock Mountain Time is the target. Today, my preparation got away from me and I wasn't able to get to it until pretty much 7 o'clock Mountain Time, but I'm going to try for 6 o'clock Mountain Time. And yeah, we'll just keep doing this because I love the breaks. I'm a hip hopper, I'm a b-boy. I love poetry, always have, always will. We gotta get those together more often, so you know, I'm doing my little bit. Hopefully come back and check it. I'm always open for ideas, suggestions, feedback. Pass it on if you know somebody who's either a poetry lover or conversely is terrified of poetry and just needs to hear it in the right way. So thanks for hanging out. Uche, aka Uche720.